The girl grew to be beautiful and gentle, affectionate and sincere, the idol of Valmont. So it was no wonder when one day Désirée was leaning against the big stone pillar at the gateway of Valmont that Armand d'Aubigny, having seen her there, had fallen in love with her as if struck by a pistol shot. The passion that awoke in him that day was like an avalanche or a prairie fire, or like anything that would drive headlong over all obstacles. Now, Monsieur Valmont wanted things well considered, namely the girl's obscure origins. Armand was once again reminded that Désirée was nameless. But Armand looked into her eyes and did not care. What did it matter about a name when he could give her one of the oldest and proudest in Louisiana? So, they were married. Gilbert was pale to his very lips with a still white wrath. His hand went to his breast, and he pulled out my tattered glove. It flashed white, ready to challenge Manuel to a duel. Suddenly, a slender brown hand wrenched the glove away, and Manuel stood between us. For a moment, they looked at each other with a year's worth of smoldering hatred and jealousy blazing in their eyes. I was only aware of the wound in my heart until my one friend entered the room, Manuel. His 19 years had given him the stature of a man, and Spain, the land of romance, seemed embodied in his youthful figure. I offered him a letter to read, and then watched carefully for any changes in his expressive countenance. This is the letter. Pauline, 6 months ago I left you, promising to return and take you home my wife. I loved you, but I deceived you, for though my heart was wholly yours, my hand was not mine to give. I am married, and there all ends. Hate me, forget me, solace your pride with the memory that none knew your wrong, and leave my punishment to remorse and time. Gilbert. With a gesture of wrathful contempt, Manuel flung the paper. He turned to me and looked at me, muttering through his teeth, "Traitor! Shall I kill him?" I looked at Manuel and said, "Why should you? Such revenge is so brief and paltry. There are more terrible fates than death. Leave Gilbert to remorse and me."